My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Aquarius. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. And for this week, we're going to be doing the 6 card Macabre Tarot spread, all titled The Coffin Spread. So if you get a chance to watch, or not watch, but look at your little thumbnail, or, yeah, whatever those, picture things are called, it's, I'll have the cards all laid out in the form of a coffin spread, based off of your reading for this week. So there's a very important card I want to show you guys, and it's the Death Upright, because normally it does resonate that any like death or deceased will end up in a coffin spread, and this is always going to be upright in the coffin spread. And especially when it comes to like the Death Upright, it's going to be in the form of rebirthing, because I'm going to help you guys overcome any kind of challenges or obstacles or any kind of negativities, and help you guys be reborn into this new mindset. So, if you got a chance to watch all the other two, macabre readings, it's like I'm always gonna be, we're reading questions, and I'm gonna be drawing 6 cards, stuff like that, and then we'll just see if any of these questions or cards will be resonating for you in any way possible. But anyway, we'll get started with question number 1. What has a hold on you right now? The Magician. So the Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy, the thing is you want to start manifesting something, but you probably just, feel like, oh goodness, how am I going to find the motivation or any kind of like anything within me to start wanting to manifest or start creating something. And sometimes this could be a bit of a challenge in the sense where you have to find motivation and inspiration to start creating something. But it could also be that you want to make something, but you just don't know what exactly to make or how to go about it in other ways. So I feel like that, it's like there's something in your mind that you want to start doing. You want to start putting action into something. You want to create something. You want to, what have you. It could be in the form of creating a new idea. Maybe you want to become an entrepreneur, or maybe you want to create, a a beautiful, fortunate future or family, or maybe you want to even start creating a family in other ways. But I feel like that there's this something on your mind that you want to start manifesting. So I think, do whatever you want, and hopefully, it'll work out in your favor, because now we're going to head off towards question number 2. How can you release your spirit? The Wheel of Fortune. So the thing is the Wheel of Fortune is about fortune and luck on your side, but the best way to go about it is to actually look at everything, is to have a sense of gratitude. Because the thing is, it's like right now, you could be in a situation where you want to start, manifesting something, but you could also be thinking, okay, it's like, do we want to have the Wheel of Fortune, and how are we going to go about it? The best way is to maybe, just think about how you want to go about any kind of fortune ideas or what have you and stuff like that. But this is definitely about a gratitude of thinking, okay, we're not quite there yet, but sometimes just actually, looking at all the positives in your life, even if it's not quite up to the standard of Wheel of Fortune, and to think, okay, it's not all, well, sometimes, the glass is half filled. It doesn't mean it's entirely filled. But sometimes it's always good to, just to kind of look around and to think, okay, it's like, what kind of luck or fortune have I actually experienced so far? And sometimes that can be very freeing. Because how can you release your mind? The Fool, by taking action. So the thing is, let's say that you want to start manifesting a Wheel of Fortune. Is the best way to go about it is by taking risks and going about it, and not just thinking, oh goodness, it's like, it just seems like it's all just game over for me. No, the thing is nothing ventured is nothing gained. So the best way to go about it is, if you want to start creating a fortunate future or life or what have you, is by taking action. And sometimes you do have to take risks, because the thing is it's like, it's not always going to be, we'll print it out. It's not always going to be, entirely, like you're going to have all the steps, written out in a book or a manual for you to say, if you follow this, it's going to guarantee a good, successful Wheel of Fortune outcome. Sad but true, I don't think anybody's ever come across any of those types of books. But anyway, I just feel like just by taking action, you want to start manifesting something, is by doing something, and not just thinking, okay, I have a beautiful idea, but how am I going to go about it? I don't know, so I'm just going to not do anything. I mean, hopefully not in any way. Because then we get to question number 4. Where can you find guidance into a new light? The Terror of Cups. This is known as this is actually the Page of Cups. So the page, am I saying that right? This is the Knight of, this is the Queen of Cups. My goodness, sometimes. No, this is the Queen of Cups. And so, No, no, this is the Knight of Cups, yeah, because the other one. No, this is Knight of Cups. So, well, Knight of Cups is by, offering or, maybe embracing some kind of offering. So I feel like, in order to shed light into your situation is by maybe embracing any kind of offerings and stuff like that, or any kind of like anythings for that matter. Because the thing is, it's like, it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, but it's not always going to be, thunderstorms and all kinds of problems either. So, this offering is going to be presented to you because you see this, the sort of ghosts, with this chalice that's there, you're going to, embrace the unknown. The thing is sometimes by taking a leap of faith, it's just probably, the best solution, but always mind you with any offerings. Double check and make sure it's a valid and very, it's an honest offering and not a fool's errand or a fool's gold kind of offering that'll put you in any kind of perilous situation. So I feel like, if you want to have, some kind of like really beautiful wheel of fortune life or future is by, taking action and by, seeing what any kind of offerings are out there for you. Because, it's like, yeah, what you could be facing with some kind of like setbacks and stuff like that is the Seven of Crystals. And that is actually a sense of hesitancy and stuff like that, because if you feel like that you've been, nothing but, misled, or that you've been, missed out on opportunities or what have you in other ways, yes, that could be very daunting and it could be very, discouraging in many ways where you've, been faced with nothing but, false, hopes, promises, ideas, what have you in other ways where you just think, okay, it's like, any kind of hesitancy, is usually, such a major killer in the sense where you just think, okay, I've been down this road, I'm not doing it again. Let's say that you've had your heart broken by other people, and then, people saying, go on, get back into the dating field. And again, I still have no idea what a dating field even is. But the thing is, it's like, why should you follow other people's advice? Maybe you just want to take a break. Maybe you just think, you know what, I'm done getting my heart broken. I'm done getting rejected. I'm done with any kind of negativity, because that's so far what I've experienced is nothing but just negativity. And so this is where you pretty much, could be, faced with some kind of setback in other ways as well. Because what's waiting for you on the other side, the guide, also known as the Hierophant, commitment. So the thing is if you could try to overcome any kind of hesitancy or any kind of anything that's holding you back, the best way to go about it is to actually know that eventually you will find some form of commitment. And I feel like that a lot of humans, at least for this week, are going on their own personal journey, because whatever worth having doesn't come easy. But this hesitancy, if you could try to overcome any kind of hesitancy by maybe looking at any kind of offerings, I do see you incredibly committed and devoted in the future. And the thing is the best way for anything is to take a leap of faith or a risk, but make sure that it is an honest and legitimate offering and not just some kind of fool's, gold. I mean, of course, the fool is always, is a bit of a glitchy case, but whatever worth having doesn't come easy. And by taking action, by going out, trying something new, doing what have you in other ways, now that's probably the best antidote and medicine for any kind of beautiful outcome or guaranteed success without feeling like thinking, oh goodness, it just seems like it's just, pointless, because our own senses and intuition, because you're definitely a fixed sign, mind you, of course. And so maybe, you're just so fixed on, the whole mindset of thinking, what, it's pointless, it's downhill. I lack trust issues. Trust me, I personally lack trust issues myself. So with any kind of offering, so if you feel like, oh goodness, it's just not going to work out, but this is what's definitely on your mind. So if you want to actually start manifesting something, I do see you incredibly committed towards in the end. And I'll tell you about even this channel that I've made. I was quite discouraged, at least the first month of creating it, because I was faced with nothing but, occasionally, I was faced with, many mixed humans, from the positive that said, oh wow, how fascinating, and the other people are just thinking, you are the worst reader I've ever come across. And I think, okay, well, that's your perception and ideas, but why must you actually tell me that? Why must you write it on a public forum? What are you trying to achieve with that? And then the best way I go about it is I check them out and I see, who are these people anyway? And then I just, it turns out that they're practically, just a metaphorical fledgling, that's just trying to, will break, other people's spirits because they haven't achieved it. So I feel like, if you want to achieve something, go about it your own way. But I do see you incredibly committed and devoted, and maybe reaching some kind of contract deal in the future, whether it's a marriage contract deal because you took a leap of faith and put yourself in a vulnerable position of heading out into this world. But eventually, you will find some kind of commitment or devotion in the future. So, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now, but if this reading resonated for Aquariuses or Aquarius placements out in this world, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for joining me this very beautiful, relaxing evening, because lately it's been nothing but kind of like thunderstorms and stuff like that, so finally it's a bit more on the quiet side. But other than that, I love you guys incredibly. Thank you so much for joining me, and as per usual, take excellent good care of yourselves.